I think it's the Instagram culture where you kind of escapism. I think that's what it's called.
Yes.
Escapism, just escape from your problems. And the big, actually a huge issue that I've been seeing is no people in your life should be causing problems. If they do, cut them off. Maybe you're the motherfucker that's causing all the
Yeah.
problems.
That,
How about
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
How about that? Let's talk about
Yeah.
that. If everybody in your life, your mom, dad, your friends, your coworkers are the biggest problems in your life, guess what, homie? You're the
You're the common
problem.
denominator.
Maybe you should think that.
There's a lot of people think that whatever's happening to them right now is literally just happening to me. You have to remember that no matter who the fuck you are,
Yeah.
whatever's happening to you at some smaller scale or a larger scale, it's either happened to somebody else, somebody you probably know too, or somebody, or it's going to happen, or it has happened. It's
Yeah.
happening right now to other people. You're not the only one facing the problems that you're facing. Welcome to Behind the Strength podcast, where we improve your health, wealth, and peace of mind. I'm Christian Alvarez.
And I'm Carlo Balagase. Welcome back to the show.
If you are new to this podcast, we are a couple of fitness and therapy entrepreneurs in Toronto, Canada. We have had a facility now and a business for about 8 years.
Yeah.
And we are growing. We turned basically nothing into a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
We
that's
started off
cool.
in a small little dungy, grimy warehouse. And now we're in another better looking warehouse.
Yes, and if you are actually returning, first of all, we want to thank all the people that are listening and actually who have gave us some sort of topics, some ideas of topics for
Yeah.
us to cover, and we will be covering those.
Yeah, so
in
thank
the
you
near
so
future.
much. Thank you so
very
much for reaching out to us and showing us love.
Yes.
This is cool. That's pretty cool that
Yeah.
we're getting some
Somebody's
some feedback.
actually listening to
Yeah,
us.
fuck.
And
I
for
thought it
anybody-
was just my mom.
And for anybody that wants to have any or that has any suggestions, any comments, please email us
At bts@strengthu.com. That's Bobby, Terry, Sandy at strengthenyu.com.
where else can they find us?
They can find us on Instagram at StrengthenYou, StrengthNU. No hyphens, no dashes, nothing. Just StrengthenYou. You can find us on Facebook as well. Check out our YouTube channel. Actually, we have a lot of cool shit there, man. Like we're doing a lot of content.
Anyway, today you might want to listen to us. 'Cause
Why?
We're talking to people who run away from their problems. This is how to handle the bad times, guys. And we're not talking about running away from them.
We're talking about heading on the problems and dealing with that shit and growing from it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have a shitload more problems. And if you can't handle it, you're going to fold and you're going to start blaming the world and why you can't be successful in life. And who the hell wants that?
So what are we talking about anyway? We're talking about now, there's a lot of people out there, the moment they come across a problem, the moment they come across some issues in their life, they run away. And when I say they run away, they shut their phones off. Now they're not answering their phones. They refuse to address the fact that something is wrong or that there's something that's happened to begin with, whether it be tension between two friends, whether it be work-related, or something they ignorantly did, or you know what I mean? It's they're just running away from their issues. And there's a lot of people that do this shit. It's fucking annoying.
I need a vacation.
Yeah.
I can't handle this.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah. They
Guys,
evade
are they over it?
responsibility.
They're over it.
It's you know what it is? It's a lack of accountability that's happening.
Why? I've seen it more and more though, right? I think it's the Instagram culture where you kind of escapism. I think that's what it's called. Escapism, just escape from your problems. And the big, actually a huge issue that I've been seeing is, if there's nothing in your no people in your life should be causing problems. If they do, cut them off. Maybe you're the motherfucker that's causing all the problems. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? Let's talk
Yeah.
about that. If everybody in your life, your mom, dad, your friends, your coworkers are the biggest problems in your life, guess what, homie? You're the
the
problem.
common denominator.
Maybe you should think that.
Yes.
How about that?
And you know what the thing is? A lot of times when you're a person that first runs away from an issue, it becomes that much easier to do it every time.
So let's go back to this, right? What I firmly believe, and nobody has to agree with me because who the fuck am I? I believe that you're trained to be this way throughout your life.
Of course.
What do you think?
Of course. And then to be honest with you, I think it all starts it all starts when you're growing up.
Yeah.
You know, anything that's around you, whether it be your parents, your guardians, if they're people who don't address any issues or any problems that you may have had, or they're not people who were very good at conversating and talking about things, I think that's going to pass on a lot to you.
You hit the nail on the head. I think a big problem is the even like the inability to even talk out your problems.
Of course.
To shine a light that there is a problem between other people or in your life. It is hard. I mean, it gives a lot of people anxiety, though, right?
Listen, man, there's a lot of people, the reason why they run away from things or they run away from people or they refuse to address something is because they have a hard time communicating to begin with.
Yes.
And
Yeah, you're right.
they always say,
You're right.
you
You're
know,
right.
there's a saying that the two hardest words to put together in the English language are the words "I'm sorry."
Yes.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it actually is the truth. So a lot of people have a very hard time to communicate the fact that I am sorry for something I did wrong and to
Why
address
though?
that.
What that's is it? I don't think it's weakness. I say sorry a lot of the times.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people will attribute it to weakness. Where if you're
I think
actually,
weakness
I think
is
it's weakness.
front and-
Yeah, I think weakness is
Right?
the person that can't address that and that's not big enough to say, hey, you know what? I was in the wrong. I apologize, and this is how we can or how can we move forward from this?
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
that's the strong person.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in their mind, number one, because they can't get the words conjured up
So
to
wait,
begin with.
it's just to give the audience some context. We're talking specifically about hard times between people, right?
Yeah.
This is the communication part.
Communication part,
Or
or-
is it hard times communicating to your loved ones that you are having hard times
Yeah,
as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way.
Yeah.
Or if there's an issue that comes across in your life, right away you run from everything. I know people that, let's just say on one day, any given day, the relationship turns sour, right? You had a huge fight, you're near breaking up, you're moving out, this person's moving out, it's over. Everything in your life crashed down.
Yeah.
Now you're not going to answer your work phone calls. You're going to call in sick. You're not going to, you may
do a
be-
shitload of drugs.
You may be accountable to other people in your life who you're going to ignore now for the rest of this problem.
So let's chase that. The notion of, oh, I just need to get away. I need to unplug. I need to escape from this for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you agree with that? Do you not agree with that?
For a second.
For a
but
second.
define a second.
Well, fuck, I don't know. But
Everybody's
buy
got
a plane ticket and go away for 2 weeks to Cuba or Honduras.
I
or
think
something.
you've
I
left
don't
the
know.
problem. I think you've left many problems to brew up even further if you've escaped that long without addressing it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if there's other people involved in your life and maybe not involved with that particular problem. So I don't want to confuse anybody here. Let's just say if the problem is between you and your, I don't know, significant other.
Sure.
Now it's like falling apart, whatever. Now you've called into work sick.
Yep.
You're not attending any more things that you're accountable for, you're responsible for. You're just
yeah.
not.
You're subconsciously deteriorating all the other relationships
Exactly.
and
You've
responsibilities.
basically checked out.
Yeah.
Now, instead, what a person can do is say, I'm having a very hard time right now in my life, so I just need a few days to get my shit together. Or I need a week to get together. I think that's a little bit responsible.
Yeah, but you're working on something.
Yes.
Throughout that week, or
You have to actively be, and two, when you say I will get back to you, get back to them.
Yeah.
Don't all of a sudden think, oh, because I've told them already I'm dealing with something, I'm just gonna extend this because I still don't feel better.
Yeah.
It's gonna be another week after another week, and the next thing you know, you go what they call ghost for months.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
I understand the death of a loved one. Believe me, I've had many people in my life pass away. Some from very unfortunate incidents.
Yes.
And it does take a toll on you, and it does hurt, and you do need time. But for you to ditch every responsibility and every other person in your life because of that is also very irresponsible.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's doing you a huge disservice.
That's
if you think.
huge.
I mean, what positive thing comes from avoiding responsibility because something bad happens
And
in
you're
your
just
life?
going to succumb to yourself again.
You know what I mean? It's like it's the same thing as training. Like nothing happens, nothing grows, nothing expands without you putting yourself through stress and hard times, right? And just like training, because you've overcome this hard time, say you want to do a bench press of 200 pounds and you do it, you don't go back to 180.
Yes.
You don't go back to 150. Your 200 is your new standard.
Yes.
So just like hard times in life, anything that you've done to help yourself overcome that, it's a new understanding of yourself, right? There's a new insight that comes from dealing with specific hard times in your life.
Now, I have heard of people actually admit to me and say, when I avoid problems or I avoid sticky situations, sticky conversations, things like that, stressful situations, conversations, it's gonna go away.
No, it's not.
So they think that avoidance
that's
will
biggest bullshit.
deteriorate the problem.
No.
So can we just touch on that for a second? Because I mean, there's a lot of people that do think like that. What happens usually when you leave a problem to brew up and you keep throwing fire on this thing?
It's gonna be left up to interpretation. The further away you guys are from the problem, the more you're gonna think about how things were actually conspired throughout the problem. So again, the biggest problem with avoidance is now you're giving yourself time to negotiate what happened as well, and that's the biggest problem too. Because now we have an argument. I let a week or a day, 2 days, 3 days, and then I start thinking about the problem even more. And then some other stuff starts brewing in that problem. And I start bringing other outside connection problems.
You know what I'm guilty
throughout
of? And I'm sure a lot of people are? During that time away or whatever it may be that you're letting this problem stir up, you're just justifying your ill actions.
Yeah.
Or your misactions. You're just justifying, oh, I'm not going to talk to that person anymore, or I'm just going to avoid them because of so and so and so. And you just further tell yourself stories to justify why you're acting in that unjust manner. Very, and you're gonna find a way to say it's a correct way to act right now.
Yeah, because humans are assholes. Yeah, straight up, we're assholes.
It's true.
Listen,
It's
we justify everything we do. I'm guilty of it the same way, right?
Yeah.
But how are you going to move forward as a person? Do you want to succeed in life or not?
Yes.
Right? Do you want to be? It's the ultimate thing is, or do you want to be happy?
Yes.
Because happiness isn't you walking around this universe and everything has to bend to your liking.
Well, that's the thing, right? And that was gonna be that was a point that I wanted to cover too. Is there's a lot of people think that whatever's happening to them right now is literally just happening to me. You have to remember that no matter who the fuck you are, whatever's happening to you at some smaller scale or a larger scale, it's either happened to somebody else, somebody you probably know too, or it's going to happen, or it has happened. It's happening right now to other people. You're not the only one facing the problems that you're facing.
So, or you might be collateral damage to something that happened beforehand.
Exactly.
So, and that's the problem too. When you deal with problems between people, there has to be, you have to think on a higher level right now. I always try to do it myself. It's hard, especially when you become emotional about the problem, and you're very passionate about the problem, and you hold your stance firmly. But you can't fight ignorance. You can't fight the fact that somebody grew up in a different way than you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the question is, do you want to be right, or do you actually want to solve the problem?
And grow. Yes.
And grow.
Yes.
Because sometimes even if you're right, you're going to have to try to solve the problem and grow, because that short-sightedness is what's going to kill you. You holding on to the current position and not really looking at the further position you could get into life when you actually pass this problem. I think for me, long-term thinking is better than short-term thinking every single time.
Whereas you're going for growth and not for being right.
I don't give a fuck to win this war right now. I want to win the whole thing, right?
Well, I think that's a big thing that people have to kind of realize in themselves. But there's people who thrive and strive to be right.
Yeah, because they're insecure and they don't really have things. The only people that strive to be right are the people who don't really have anything going on.
Of course.
Because if look, you're trying to be successful, you know that you're wrong 90% of the time.
Yes.
Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just kind of like you're trying to unlock that door.
Yes.
It's like you're picking a lock. Oh fuck, this is wrong. This is wrong. Oh shit. Okay, this was right. I unlocked that. Right? You're used to being wrong.
Well, it's the problem solving thing. So
there's a reason why calculus is hard, because you have to keep trying at it to get the answer.
Exactly, and it's never a finite answer.
Yeah,
it actually continues to go on. It's a lot of like your everyday life.
No, but it's like a battle too. It's like or your interaction. That's the thing with calculus, like or whatever in mathematical problem. The answer is right there. You just have to prove it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So this is the problem. So a lot of people aren't good in math, and a lot of people aren't good in arguments and having holding their position. So we're not taught how to negotiate properly. We're not taught how to influence properly. We're not taught to listen first, gather information, and then state your case in a logical way.
Well, that's what a lot of people fail to see. These issues or these everyday, like just everyday issues, everyday problems. They're not for problem solving, because there's the person that when they come across something, it's like, oh, this isn't stressful. I just got to solve this.
Yeah, but why though, right?
Right, but because they're also wired a lot differently.
Well,
right?
it's just like math. When you come across people who actually hate math and never want to do it, they look at it and like, holy fuck, this is fucking crazy. Yes. But a mathematician would be like, oh, this is it. Boom, next. What's next, right? It's because it's reps. It's fucking reps. That's all it is.
They have a sequence of figuring shit out.
It's reps. This is why it's such a detrimental thing to run away from your problems, because you're not putting in the reps. You're running away.
Yeah, you're constantly shutting off the part of your mind where it actually has to think and solve problems.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Right?
don't like being fat, but you don't want to work out.
Right. Yeah.
That's
So
that's exactly what that is. You don't want to be. You hate being fat. You don't like but you do not want to work out. You don't want to solve the problems.
so in this sense, then this person is definitely not going to be growing.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not
No,
growing. And when I
no.
say they're not going to be growing, people are gonna be like, oh, so what if I'm not growing? I'm too old or whatever it is. I'm
that's-
just
that's
saying
pure
you're gonna
bullshit.
come across the same problem over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's what tends to happen to these people.
See, this is only a problem. Okay, so this is a big problem to people if they want to find a better life for themselves. This is like if you're listening and you actually don't give a shit about bettering your
You
life.
probably stopped listening a long time ago.
Well,
right?
that's the thing. So it's only a real problem when you hate conflict in your life. You want to get over these hard times. So I think the biggest thing is your ability to handle it, right?
Yes.
You stepping up and like owning it and be like, okay, let's handle this shit. I
Yep.
think that's the biggest thing that we're talking about
Yep.
here. It's you not to avoid this shit and act like it's a weird occasion that something hard is happening in your
Yes.
life. Yo, it's another one. Oh
Yep,
shit, it's
that's
another
one.
It's-
Exactly. Yep.
Right? It's
Yep.
another fucking problem. Let's deal with it.
It's-
And the
it's
more
getting a-
you step up and be like, okay, let's deal with it. Step up to bat. You're not gonna avoid like hitting the fucking ball if you're a baseball player. You want to hit that shit.
It's getting over the fact that there's another issue or there's another problem.
So
right?
what, man?
Whereas that's literally people thrive on solving those things on
Yeah.
a regular daily basis.
Bro, the biggest problem that anybody human could ever have is the stagnation problem.
Yes, of course.
I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care how happy you think you are. Nobody is fulfilled when they feel stagnant in life.
Yes. Yes.
I don't care who you are.
Yep,
Don't you can
yep,
lie to
I
yourself
agree.
all day, every day. You don't want to deal with problems. You want to hide in the fucking shell. You want to
I
hide in
agree.
the house. Stay at home for 3 fucking months doing nothing, like I did. You
agree.
feel like a worthless fucking piece
Yeah,
of
of
shit.
course.
You feel so disconnected
You have
from
zero
people.
value to people.
Yeah, and you guess what? We are a society that needs connection with people. So
Yes.
if you can't handle problems with people, you're gonna be depressed. You can't. You have to stop blaming other people and start looking at yourself.
Well, this is why a lot of people go into the states of depression and anxiety and deep anxieties because they can't handle what comes at them because they refuse
But
to face it.
they don't want to
refuse
face it, and it's fear, right?
And it's fear, of course
Yeah.
it is.
So I remember this one time, and this is why. This is actually one of the biggest reasons why I do whatever the fuck I want, and I'm not scared for a lot of shit. When I was a kid in grade 2, this kid. So I don't know if you know. I moved from Flemington Park to near North York Hospital, right beside it.
Okay.
Is grade 2. So the neighborhood there, so it was a townhouse. So neighborhood kids would hang out all the time with each other after school, all the time. And this one older guy, his name was Chris, I think. He's like a few years older than me. We're grade 2. He's probably grade 4, grade 5. So he's like the older G kind of
Yeah.
thing, hanging out with us. So one time, we would always play games and stuff like that. So we were at a park, and Chris comes through with a bunch of what's those Twizzlers things?
Yes.
Right? And he's like, "Listen, guys, I have a game or I have a challenge for you guys. You're gonna get a Twizzler, but you know in the park where there's a platform and there's a slide that comes down, but the platform was about 6 feet, 7 feet tall, like just about a
Yeah,
bit lower than the
yeah.
ceiling." And he's like, "If you guys jump from that platform down onto the sand, you're gonna get a Twizzler, right?" And I was like, "Fuck, I hate heights." Okay, I fucking hated heights. So I sat there. I saw everybody start going. Everyone was scared at first, and then like must have been 5 kids, and I was the last one. Everyone went, and I was the last one. And then everyone was looking up, and he had that last Twizzler. He's like, "Carlo, jump." I go, "No, I can't jump. No, I'm too scared." He's like, "Dude, once you do it, I guarantee you'll do it again and again and again. Don't worry." And I sat there. I must have sat there for half an hour while everyone was
wow.
watching. And everybody had to go in to get dinner, right? Because it was that late. And he's like, "Listen," he came up. He's like, "Listen, man, I know you're gonna do it, so I'm gonna give this to you." So he gave it to me. He left. I sat there for another half an hour, almost dark.
It's a long time.
And then I fucking jumped. And I
That's
jumped.
crazy.
And I looked at him like, "This is so fucking stupid. This is it?" And I jumped again and again and again and again.
Yeah, like I waited a whole day for this.
Yeah. And then after the next day, I gave him back the Twizzler. I'm like, I don't deserve this. I'm going to earn it next time. He's like, "Listen, you already earned it. I knew you were going to do it. You just had to figure it out yourself." And then from that moment on, I was like, never again will ever be scared of something. I have to try it. This is why I do things the way I do it, man.
So what can somebody take out of that story right there? Like, give me the one thing that if I'm going to take from that, what would it be?
A, believe in the people that believe in you. B, fucking take the jump, man. Take the jump. It's not that hard. The only people that only believe that it's hard is you. There's people out there that are looking at it from a different angle and saying, yo, you could do it. And if you don't have that in your life, you don't have people, and a lot of people don't. You figure it yourself. Your ability or the simple action alone of you taking that jump and saying, fuck it. I'm either going to get hurt or I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to actually succeed. That alone will change your entire life, which it did to me.
So
I know it was such a small thing, bro, but like no doubt that's the main reason why I take on any challenge now. Like I don't really care because of that.
So
It's the
in
same-
this
it's
sense,
like,
in this sense, we like we're basically people can learn from this by not turning their back around and running away from it.
You can
Face it, like face
you
it.
have to face it. I was scared. Like I saw kids doing it.
This
and
includes-
how often have we seen this? Like we
Of
saw
course.
people. We know these motherfuckers on this wall have done
the
it.
leap, yeah.
Have done it.
Yep.
But yet we're still scared.
Yep.
But look how many people, different lives. Look, everybody
Different
has a different
timelines.
story, different timelines,
Different
different
timelines and
struggles,
history.
different
Yep.
fucking things,
Yep.
right?
And they've all had
But they're
problems.
all on the wall, right?
They've all had problems.
They all have problems, man.
Yep.
They all have problems. But what they jumped.
All these people, just to put into perspective, have had personal problems, relationship problems, work problems, financial problems. So it doesn't matter, even business problems and or career problems. So whatever problem it is that you are facing, whether it be relationship, whether it be financial, and you're running away, have a look.
Yeah.
Right?
So I separate problems into two things: good problems and bad problems.
Yes.
Right. I honestly believe that a lot of successful people have significantly more good problems than bad problems.
Of course.
And the reason for that is because they don't see any bad
Yes.
problems.
They see things as a good problem. So
Because in your
explain a
head-
good problem.
So a good problem would be like, okay, shoot, we can't get this financing right now. That's gonna be it's like, cool. That's a great problem to have.
So a good problem for us. Our parking lot's too full. The classes are a little too full.
That's a great problem to
Good
have.
problem. Okay.
Right? Even if we, for me, even if we had 0 people in our class, I'm like, oh, this is a great problem. We just haven't figured it out yet.
Yes.
That means the mathematical equation has to be figured out.
Yes.
It's not
The
zero.
algorithm has not
It's
been
not
figured
zero.
out
The
yet.
answer's there. Like we
Yes.
said, the answer is there. We just have to figure it out.
Yes.
It's never 0.
Yes.
Right? The answer is always there.
You know what helps? And I wanted to bring up this point is, for you, you had him as a guide. What was his name again?
Chris.
Chris.
Yeah.
He was your guide, right?
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, they think that as soon as they're faced by something, it's done. It's over. This is my problem now, and that's it. It's just gonna be like that.
No.
They don't think outside the box. That there's people out there you can see who are very similarly going through something that you are right now.
Yeah.
And you can talk to them, confide them. What have you done? What do you do when you come across this?
Yeah.
Right. If we come across, say, a staffing issue, I would more prone to go up to another entrepreneur, a trusted colleague or a trusted friend, and ask, what have you done when you've come across this situation before?
Yeah,
with an
it's
employee
reaching
and/or-
out, right?
It's reaching out.
Yeah.
It's you know what I mean. Like,
And not being too big to fucking do that.
you can't be. You have to
No.
be number one humble, and number two, you really actually want to get advice and help.
Because if you have that again, if you bring that down to the student mentality, if you're always open to learning new things, that you're a vessel, like I don't know everything, and that's a fucking fantastic situation because now I have more opportunities to learn more things. And I think that's the reason why these people are there because
Yes.
they're never done. What video game do you fucking
I was gonna
it's
say,
like a
so
video game.
going back to, we always say this, it's almost like upping your level, right?
Yeah,
so
dude.
every problem that you've overcome, let's just say I got tested with this relationship issue, I just got tested with this financial issue, and I overcame it, and I became stronger. Guess what? I just upped the level, man.
Yeah, you don't lose that.
No, you just up a
gain it.
level. You gain that
You
experience.
gain that extra energy. You gain that experience. Now you're cutting down time frames in your future problems. That's exactly what that is. You're cutting down time frames for future problems. So, like I always say, like, cut the fucking friction from your life.
And
if you want to get there, cut all the friction.
And you know what it does to a person is it makes you hard grain. And when I say hard grain, you learn to make your skin thicker. And to
Absolutely.
not let things bother you so much to the point where it's going to rattle you and you need to cut people off, or, oh my God, I'm going to shut my phone off and shut my world off, or
No.
myself off to the world.
Yeah.
It makes you hard grain where you come across some issues now and you're going to be like, I've dealt with that before. That's nothing.
Bro, if you
You
start,
know?
if you've press 200 pounds, 80 pounds is not going to
It's
be
not
a
going to be
problem.
much. Yeah, because I've already
That's your
done that.
warm up now,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
That's exactly like I like bringing it to fitness because we're a fitness and therapy thing. Like when you have problems, when you stack that shit 4 plates deep, for a squat, 2 plates ain't gonna be hard for you when it comes up, man.
Yep.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
You're gonna start like you're gonna be like, oh, that's it. That's my
Yes.
warm up.
Yes. I always attest to this. When we first opened up, remember after grand opening, spent a bunch of money on grand opening, or what was a bunch of money to us back then. This was like 2011.
Yeah.
And the next day we had like a $1,200 rent bill. $1,200 rent bill.
Yeah, that was great.
That to us was like, yeah, right now we're saying it's great, but to us that day or the day before was like, oh my God, we need to make $1,200 and this is due by the end of the week. And that was the biggest problem in the world. But if we
That's a huge problem, bro.
It is a huge problem, especially as a starting business.
Yeah.
Now, if we chose to shut the world off or shut ourselves off from the world and not even think about solving that problem, we would not be here speaking like right now, and we would not have this great community around us.
Yeah, we quit our PT jobs at the other place because we had to. And
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
we made
had
it happen.
to figure it out.
Yeah,
So,
we had to make it happen.
I
And
mean-
I don't know if you remember this. A few years later, we had the same problem as $20,000 that we had to come up with in the next 3 days.
and we're still having constantly,
Right?
constantly.
But it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. You want to take on more responsibility in your life. You want to be successful in your life. You want to move forward.
It's gonna keep coming.
You're gonna have to fucking, just like a boxer, man. You don't like you first learn a 1-2 punch, right? To evade one jab, one cross. But then as you get more fucking skilled and you become a champion, you're avoiding crosses, uppercuts.
You're
three,
dodging,
You're
yeah.
punching, then dodging again. Boom, boom. The
Yes.
combos get more complicated,
Yes.
bro.
Yes, it does.
Right? But it started off with avoiding one jab.
Yep.
And then the cross, and then you avoid jab cross.
Well, it's broken down, right? Now it's
Yeah,
broken down,
right?
Move by
And
move,
then-
step by step.
And then look, later on or throughout the years, you're dodging tons of complicated combos, right? But you're not thinking anymore because you've already done it multiple times. Brooklyn could run now, right?
Yes,
She could-
exactly.
remember before she said one step,
one
it's
step,
like,
and I might just fall.
I can't, like she started shaking,
Yep.
and then maybe 2 steps, and then she'd fall. Even standing up was like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
right?
shaky.
But now she could run around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now she doesn't think about it.
Yes.
But how come we've stopped that? How come we stop
You do
chasing
stop
this
that as
adventure?
you grow up.
How come we stop pushing our boundaries and expanding what we could do in life? Right? And when people always ask me like, yo, how could you could do so many things? It's the same principle, man. Because I don't have fear anymore.
Actually, there's a great book I just finished. It's in my locker somewhere. If we could just post that up after. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Oh yeah.
But Mark Manson, it's
that
actually
was a good
a
one.
very good book.
Yeah.
There's a lot that you can take from it. It's stuff that I'm pretty sure everybody knows. But guys, get on that book, and it talks a lot about that. How when a child first falls and they fall over and over again, they're not going to be like, "Oh fuck it, I'm done. I'm done trying to walk."
No, yeah.
They're going to keep going until they walk. But we lose that somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Because
the-
it's survival, right?
It's survival.
Now that we've survived, we're not trying to thrive. We're just trying to survive
And
now.
that's, you
and
know-
what kind of life is that?
Yes, and that's the point. And the point is, for you to keep growing, for you to keep getting better, and for your quality of life to get better, you have to face problems.
Yes.
You can't fucking run.
No. I say chase problem, like not chase problem,
Head
but
on.
but when you come up across a problem, take it as an opportunity to be
Yeah.
better. Take it as a challenge. That's what I do, man. Like if there's another thing, boom. Because when this thing comes up again, it's gonna be so much faster that we can find a solution for this.
Listen, to everybody listening out there, if you are, if you've ever ran away from a problem, and you can attest to the fact that that problem just gets bigger and it just starts to multiply after that. And once you have a problem that's been said, kind of stirring up there and we haven't even tackled on yet, and another one comes along, now your life is really over.
Everybody has problems, man.
Everybody.
If you, look, you don't want to be rich, you want to stay thin, you're gonna have problems as a poor person.
Exactly.
You don't want to be fit, you're gonna have problems as an overweight, obese person. You're gonna have problems as a fit person. Everybody has problems. It's not about erasing all the problems in your life. It's about being able to deal with it so much better.
To cope
So-
with
yeah,
it and
yeah.
how to actually deal with it head on.
Yeah, and start cutting down the amount of time that you have on these problems.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And reducing your stress, because the stress response is what kills us,
Yes,
our problems.
yes.
But then if you're dealing with problems all the time, it doesn't hit a stress response anymore.
yes,
Because
exactly.
now it's kind of like, oh, it's a natural thing.
Yeah, your brain switched into problem solving mode as opposed to problem succumbing mode,
Yeah,
right?
Because
Like-
once you do that, you're in the flight mode now, not fight mode.
Exactly.
And flight mode is the worst thing you could ever be in.
I agree.
Right? You could change the fight mode because it's more powerful positioning. But the flight mode, man, it's such a you're gonna go backwards. I think. So
I agree. Stop running away.
deal with your fucking problems.
Deal with your
head on,
fucking
man.
problems head on.
And deal like it's not. It doesn't come. It'll come over time. It's not overnight thing.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
start with the next one. Be like consciously think about it. Okay, this is the problem I have, and I think just like when I was jumping when I was grade 2, like what things are gonna come out of this? Why am I feeling this way?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then just do it.
Yeah.
And then learn from it. So the thing is what to debrief after the problem has happened. Really allow yourself the time to take in the solutions that you've put in place and how you could have dealt with it better. Take a mental note. So the problem is a lot of people don't have good memory, right? So I would take down your notes if you don't have good memory and you don't have that emotional connection to your problem. There are techniques where you can do that, but anyways,
If you guys have any issues that you're maybe dealing with and you need some advice of, or if you have any comments or questions, anything for us to cover, please email us. Please comment.
BTS@strengthenyou.com. That's Bobby Terry Sandy at strength-the-letter-N-U.com. And we hope that you deal with your problems better and you become more successful because of
we look
it.
forward to hearing from you, and thank you for listening. I'm Christian.
And I'm Carlo. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bow.